Hey folks, one of our partners, they asked us about how we work with SAP MDM, especially with the ECC to S4 migration and overall data quality, AI. The master data, that's getting more and more interesting for organizations, and they wanted to see how we handle the master data, especially with SAP MDG with Usestream. So I thought I'll drop a quick video of how we enable the users to access this data, as well as if there's mass replication needed to cloud, so that they can work on it on scale, apply analytics, AI. That would be possible. So let's get going. So if you have SAP ECC in your system, probably you'll have this node, and then there's a bunch of functions which get enabled. What we would be seeing is, you can be replicating your data, execute data replication, and let's say you're replicating data to Hybris as initial change, and then you'll go on and execute this. What we are interested in is the structures which are there in MDG, and one of the structures which I was looking at is for this materials master, and this one has around 36,000 odd entries. And it's pretty straightforward data. You get plant name and the material code. Yes. So when we are going for data migration or cleansing or governance kind of activities, one important part is to see how we can access this information. So I'm going to use my umigrate for SAP, basically Excel-based tool. And here what I'm giving is I want to access a table, and this is the same table which we have accessed here. MDG, BS, MAT, DV, underscore MV, right? So this is the table, and when I say refresh all, basically it will go into my ECC and then refresh the data. So let's do a complete refresh. Let's say E, and then we pull something else, and then we'll do a refresh completely for this particular table. So this is MARD data. I'm going to change it to say I want this particular table data. So copy this and use this here. So now if I refresh it, it is going to go into ECC and fetch the data from this particular MDG view. You will notice that I can also get MARA data. Also, I'm getting MM60 data, which is a T code in SAP. So if I was to use SAP T code MM60, it basically shows me the material list. And I'm going to run this with a variant USB for SAP one. Then I get this data. Now, when I go here, I'm giving it the same T code and asking it to run with this. So when I go to MM60 tab, and do a refresh, it is now fetching the data from T-code MM60. All right, so this is for getting your MDG data as well as your regular MARA tables and T-codes data onto your migration. Now, in some of the use cases, you might, rather than extracting to Excel, you might want to get this data onto your cloud or some NFS repository, some data file share, where you can analyze this. So what I'm going to do is to use this. Basically, what I'm asking the tool to do is to extract all of the records in this table and send it to Azure. And there's a certain directory in Azure Data Lake where I'm putting it, but it can be Azure, AWS, GCP, or even your file share where you're extracting those data. When I execute this, it is extracting all of this information. It tells me that it has put the data in this directory. So if I go now to my Azure, go to data lakes, data storage, data out, and this is the folder SAP data MDG. Let's see what it has created. It has generated this file, and if I open it, I get all of these data sets which would be coming from SAP. All right, so this is a pretty straightforward way of how you can access your raw tables data and views of SAP MDG, as well as if you wanted T codes like MM60 or some other report from your SAP, you can still do that. I hope you find this useful. Thank you.